Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and let's make chapatis. You're going to use the Ajab all-purpose baking flour. We're also going to add some salt for taste and preservative, and you're going to use some oil for the mixing, and that is our mixing bowl. Follow through and you'll love your chapatis. I normally use cold water. It's just a preference. There's nothing wrong with using warm or hot water if you like. So people wonder, will it make your chapatis hard? No, it won't. If you mix your dough well and if you mix your ingredients well, your chapatis will come out just nicely. And also another thing, before you start working, make sure that you clean up your working area. Make sure it's clean well, because you don't want to get some germs or some toxins in our foods. So make sure that the area is well cleaned. Also your hands, your nails, all those. Get some salt and add it to the mixing bowl. You can measure the salt with a tablespoon, like maybe half of it, but I usually measure with my eyes. I need to improve on that, definitely. Then on the flour, I used the flour was 3/4 way full. It's the 2 kg pack, so that is I put in roughly 1 kg of the flour. Like 1 kg. I actually don't know where this came from, but I usually have a standard measure of the oils that I use for baking, for cooking, or for preparing dough, and that is maximum 2 cups of the oil bottle that I'm actually using. So we're going to use 2 cups of that oil. OCD has been pretty dominant here. Anyway, I don't like the spills on the oils on the cabinets or in the surfaces, so I usually make sure that it is well tight and I wipe to avoid any spill. After adding all your other ingredients, now add the cold water slowly, mixing with your clean hands. Make sure that your hands and your nails are clean, because you don't want to transfer germs to your family. So let's start making and start working on the dough. It looks like something like that. So work on it until really soft. Take your time, work on that dough, because you want to make sure that all your dough is well made and it is well mixed, well combined, really imekandwa vizuri. Because if you actually miss this step, you ruin your chapatis regardless of what you're going to use. Usipokanda unga vizuri, chapati haitakuwa chapati, inaanza kukua kama those things, the sacramental things, or it becomes something else. It will not be chapatis anymore. So kanda hiyo unga, make sure that you knead that dough properly. If maybe working from the sink area is not so comfortable for you, you can always look for somewhere else where you'll be comfortable, and make sure that you work on that dough well. You know your dough is ready when it stops sticking on your hands or on the bowl that you are mixing in, and it should look something like this, not too hard, not too soft, so that when you kanda inakandika vizuri. I like to portion my dough into 3 so that it becomes easier to work on and pia kukanda. So, and also to kupaka mafuta. I don't know what it is called in English, but there's that step that you're going to do next. Now we are done with the kukanda. Now we start making our chapatis into reality. So kanda hiyo unga, skuma hiyo unga. You can always add some flour so that it doesn't stick on the surface. So it has to have some kauzito. Now we do our oil, tupake mafuta, then we start the prep. Divide the dough into portions. I like to do like 5 or 6 portions so that I can cook them at once. This is good because it will define your sizes, it will define the way your chapatis will look, and if they will be big or small, thick or thin. This is where you do that definition. Once you're done with the shape and size definition, now let's start with the kneading process. Now skuma kanda hiyo chapati, use force, use strength, tumia nguvu usiogope, so that you get really nice, well made and well shaped, something like this. And that time our pan is on the fire, so it's getting hot. So you put your chapatis or your dough, and then you continue working on the others. Let them just cook for like 5 seconds or 10 seconds each side. At this stage, you're not applying or kupaka mafuta hapa. You're just letting it cook on and just heat and that, so that it can pay definition, so that we start cooking zote pamoja. And that type who cooks chapoka 6 ama 10 at once. I don't do one because I think it takes a lot of time. Tuendelee kukanda. Chapo ya kwanza onja kama mwenye kupika, because if you don't do that the harufu utashiba, harufu ukose hata kukula hata moja. So always eat the first chapati. Also you get some energy for kukanda, and you make sure that the chapatis come out nicely. So it's okay to taste the first chapati. As you finish up with the first batch, start preparing for the second batch so that you keep the process of cooking continuous. Pan isikae kwa moto for nothing. I promise you your chapatis will be soft and they will be tasty if you cook with this recipe. I usually prefer to make sure that kama zote zimepitia kwa moto before I start oiling them ama kupaka mafuta, but you can cook one batch and then do the other one after the other one is done. Dividing the dough into several portions is the easiest way to know the amount and the number of chapatis that you're going to cook, so you can actually plan if you have guests or something like that. Because if I divide into 4 portions, I'll know I'll cook 6 times 4. But in today's case, whereby I used less flour, so I'm going to use maybe like 5 times 3. That is roughly 15 chapatis. That is the amount of chapatis we're going to cook today. We start with the kupaka mafuta, the oiling part. I usually don't like using too much oil because I believe mafuta nyingi ukausha chapatis because it will over fry them. So just use a controlled amount, like maybe a tablespoon max on each side, and it will cook nicely. So you let it cook, make sure it cooks nicely, and again, don't add sugar to your chapatis. I recently learned that people add sugars to chapatis. I was shocked because you will increase the browning effect. You're just adding so many problems to your body, and you're already cooking the chapatis with fat and such things, and it's wheat, it's processed, it's white chapatis, and then you add sugar, makosa. So fry them and let them cook just on not so much heat, medium heat if there's something like that. Tunapaka mpaka mafuta hapa kidogo kidogo, so that we make sure they cook each side. Ukiangalia vizuri una make sure inapika vizuri, and yeah, let's cook our chapatis and see. Zinaiva tu, una make sure zimeiva both nje na ndani. It also to make sure that upiki watu chapati zenye hazijaiva. The hardest part has to be your prepare unga, the kukanda and all that, because hapo ukikosea, that is where your chapatis will be hard. Itakuwa ngumu kuliko maisha ya kuwa Mkenya. So make sure that ukikanda unga una prepare vizuri. Hapa tu ni ku make sure that upiki na mafuta mingi. You just add enough that they cook nicely. Alafu they cook nicely, zisiungue, zisikue too hard. And yeah. After our second batch is done, now we work on our last batch. Remember, we divided our dough into 3 portions. That was the first portion that we already worked on, the second one that we've worked on, and this the last one. And now our beans are ready, so we are going to enjoy this meal. Beans and chapati. I believe chapo should be had with legumes or anything of that sort. Chapo beans, chapo kamande, chapo njahe, because vitu zingine ka chapo nyama, I think they don't slap as good as this. So chapo before ipakwe mafuta inafaa kukua hivi. So ukishapika 5 to 10 seconds on each side inafaa kuwa kitu kaa hiyo. Then ukipaka mafuta ndio inakarangika, inakuwa hivi. Usipake mafuta mengi, ita overcook na itakauka. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and please give this video a like kama kuni support na pia ndio ionekane kwa watu wengine, and let me know in the comment sections how you cook your chapatis, if you prefer cooking one by one, if you prefer cooking in batches ama kama unapikanga tu batch moja. This was the end product. The chapatis were soft, very tasty, and very easy to make. So you can have yours with beans, tea, or anything. And thanks for watching. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe and give this video a like. I'll really appreciate that. Thank you.